Well, hi there, everybody. Good Friday morning to you, and welcome to November. It is November 1st. We're coming off of a late night of Halloween and trick-or-treating last night, and now, well, it's a big improvement out there this morning. We had a cold front come through several hours ago. It's situated in southeast Nebraska. That front passing through, we actually have warmer temperatures this morning. We are much warmer than we were at this time yesterday. One of the main reasons is there's not a lot of cold air behind this front. There's warmer air in the region than there was at this time yesterday, and there are more clouds around, and that's helped to elevate temperatures this morning. There could be a couple of flurries or sprinkles passing through over the next couple of hours. Then we'll start to get some partial clearing later today, but then later this afternoon we're going to get what we call pop-up, and I'm going to back this up a little bit towards 1, 2 o'clock here. Popcorn showers. Popcorn snow showers, maybe, up to the north, depending on if it's cold enough or not. But the reason we call these popcorns is they just kind of pop up out of nowhere, and then they kind of usually rain themselves out here, and they kind of pop up in random spots all over the place. Well, these will be diving southeastward through the area. Now, they're going to be more favorable in northern Nebraska, north of the interstate, and then into the east here. But we might see something in the Tri-Cities. And what these will basically do, these are going to bring these quick passing showers, brief showers. They won't last long. Maybe a little snow if it's cold enough to the northwest. But what they can also do, because a lot of times that moisture is evaporating as it rushes to the surface, and so you're not seeing a lot of precipitation. But what they can do with that evaporation is they can produce some gusty winds that push down to the surface and then push out here. So we could see some gusty winds this afternoon. Sustained winds 15 to 25 miles per hour, but gusts that could approach or maybe even exceed 35 miles per hour. So if it gets a little bit gusty in your area, don't be surprised. And again, with these little pop-up showers, now we're going to see some partial clearing. There will be some sunshine, but you may see these little towering clouds around areas of blue skies here. That's kind of what we're going to be looking at this afternoon. Clouds get a little thicker the farther northeast you go. These will last through the early evening through, say, about 7 or 8 o'clock here. I'll stop that at 8. Once we get past there, they'll start to clear up. The winds will die down. A little bit colder tonight out there with mostly clear skies. Getting into tomorrow, a pretty nice Saturday on the way after the cold start. Lots of sunshine most of the day. Temperatures a little bit warmer, many of us getting into the 50s. And then some approaching clouds from the north late in the day with an approaching front or a trough. That'll bring some thickening clouds overnight, Saturday night, Sunday morning. But Sunday's still shaping up to be very nice. We'll talk about that here in just a bit. But let's look at today's forecast. Lower 40s up to the northwest, maybe 30s out in the panhandle in Nebraska, and could be as warm as the upper 40s to near 50 in the southeast. We're going to go with upper 40s in the Tri-Cities for today, but again, a little less pleasant when you factor in those strong winds this afternoon. Tonight then, with the skies clearing up and the winds dying down a little bit, we're going to fall back into the 20s, lower 20s in the Tri-Cities, could be some teens out to the west. So a little chillier for overnight lows. Could be some upper 20s to near 30 in eastern Nebraska. And then highs for tomorrow, an improvement. Most of us should make it to near or above 50 degrees. A lot of low 50s, maybe a few mid 50s off to the southwest. 1 or 2 spots may stay in the upper 40s. Should be a pretty good Saturday on the way, improved over where we've been. A little chillier to the east, though. Of course, the Huskers traveling to the east to take on the Purdue Boilermakers in West Lafayette, Indiana. It's at Ross-Ade Stadium. It's an 11 a.m. Central Time kickoff. That's noon local time there in Indiana. Temperatures will rise through the 30s in the morning with quite a few clouds around, getting into the lower 40s during the afternoon. Winds get a little bit breezy towards the end of the game. So typical Big Ten weather, not terrible, just not great. I don't think it'll be a big factor in the game. Better not be, at least. As we look at the highs for Sunday, then as we jump into the second half of the weekend, this might be the nicest day of the 7-day forecast as we see temperatures push up into the 50s area-wide, maybe getting close to 60 in northern portions of Kansas. Now let's look at the long-range forecast as we go through the warming trend of the next couple of days. Then we see temperatures drop off next week. Now, still hoping we can make it at least into the lower 50s on Monday. There are going to be more clouds around Monday. I did take out that chance of moisture, though. Very spotty chances Monday into Tuesday, kind of like today really here, but just tough to predict. I don't think we're going to see much moisture, but we are going to see a trend of cooler temperatures, although you will notice that for Tuesday and Wednesday's forecast, I did bump those up a little bit if you were watching yesterday. It doesn't look to get quite as cold. But then you look at Thursday's forecast, and temperatures look to drop into the lower 30s. Although I've been watching recent forecast models, the last couple of runs have been trending upwards maybe towards the mid-30s. So yes, it's going to be chilly on Thursday, but maybe not quite as cold. Long-range forecast models hinting at the coldest weather coming in Thursday and then again on Friday. That's where we bottom out late next week. Looking towards the second weekend of the month of November. That's the 9th and 10th of November there. Right now, and really with long range forecast models, I just kind of go with our forecast model, our in-house model, which has 50s, low mid 50s out there, which would be pretty close to average for November 9th and 10th, because that's when our average high will drop down into the mid 50s. Sorry, I've been talking a lot, so I work up a thirst. But one thing that I will mention, though, I've been looking at some other long-range forecast models, and a lot of times what happens is long-range forecast models try to trend as close to average as they can because they're so far away from the current present time frame. But there are some long-range forecast models that are hinting at 60s and maybe even above 70 degrees next weekend, especially on Sunday. So that would be awesome, first off. I'm not going to say that's going to happen yet, but I'm just saying that we could see a really awesome weekend next weekend. There's a chance. Don't want to guarantee it because, again, it's so far out. Things change. We see it all the time. We've seen changes to the forecast for next week already. Things change. So I don't want to get you too optimistic yet, but just saying that we may see a pretty pleasant weekend. There's a chance of seeing a really pleasant weekend next weekend, even nicer than the weekend that's ahead of us for this weekend. So with that, I'll leave you on that good note. I'll leave you with a little hint of good news that could be possibly coming to our area. But until next time on Monday, when we'll all be extra rested after the extra hour of sleep over the weekend. And of course, by this time in the morning when I record this, shortly after 7 o'clock, we'll have a little bit of daylight out there again. That'll be nice to see as well. But until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful first weekend of November. Take care. Enjoy that weekend and take advantage of the nicer weather that's coming. And we'll talk to you all later. God bless. Bye.